Good evening, everyone. Hope you're doing well tonight. Look, if you're looking for owner finance land or just land in general, then you're at the right spot because tonight I've got 31 incredible properties that are available for you to look at. I'm covering, I think, 7 different states tonight. We're going to be here about an hour or less. We're going to plow through it. I'm going to show you some great properties and share with you some things that you can do with the land. So I'm glad that you're here. I'm Scott from Land Moto, and this channel is dedicated to helping you make your land ownership dreams a reality. It doesn't matter whether you have bad credit, no credit. It doesn't matter what your story is. Tonight, I'm going to show you just how you can start to make these land ownership dreams a reality. Now, before I get into the details, I always want to just tell you, tonight I'm going to talk about these little buckets. And what I wanted to do is I wanted just to take an opportunity here to share with you the whole little bucket thing, because I really think of each property as falling within one of 4 buckets. And I think that when you understand the bucket that each property falls into, it's just so much easier for you to say, yeah, that's a good one for me, or nah, that's not the right one for me. It all depends on what you're trying to do. So let's look at these buckets, as I call them. And again, the first 4 buckets. So here we go. Bucket number 1 is if you're in need of land today, like you want to move on to that property today, immediately, and start building or living on it, then you would fall into properties that meet the bucket 1 requirement. And what I'm going to show you tonight is that some properties meet the bucket 1 requirement for you or not, if this is you. Now, the most important thing is whenever you're dealing with the owners and the owner financing, just being straight up with them, telling them what you want. Some people will be able to work with you, some won't. But if you're a bucket 1 person looking for that land today, we're going to find some land that you could live on today. That's doable. Now, bucket number 2, well, this is people that are looking for land for the future. So if you're looking for land for the future, maybe you're thinking 3-5 years out from now, something that you can build a dream home on. Well, you would fall into a bucket 2 type of a property. So when I talk about bucket 2 tonight, that's you. That would be what you're looking for. Bucket 3 properties, well, bucket 3 properties, these are recreational lands, ATVing, horseback riding, camping, fishing, hunting, all of the stuff that we go have fun with. Maybe your hobby is, looking through telescopes and you need some dark skies. Well, you know what? We're going to find some properties tonight that will help you with that component as well. And then bucket number 4, this is one of my favorite buckets here, bucket number 4, because bucket number 4 is what I call land banking. And what land banking is that's basically where you're going to own land for the long term. Gold, I don't know, Bitcoin, the stock market is crazy. What's going to happen to the world? Lots of people talking about inflation. Do you know what holds up against the time of inflation is land. That's right. Land is the secret asset that the billionaires own. So if you're a land banker or you're just looking for something that you can, store some wealth into, well, then you would fall under the bucket 4 properties. So tonight, as I talk about, the different properties, and I talk about bucket 1, 2, 3, or 4, you now know what I'm talking about. And if you forget, guess what? In the description below, I actually have a short description of what I'm talking about. So I kind of welcome to the party, I guess is what we're going to say. Now, let's just get into it. Let's go looking at some of the properties. I've got these things lined up by state. So our first state tonight is going to take us to Arizona. You guys are familiar with Arizona, beautiful western state. Some of my good friends live in Arizona. So if you are looking for land in Arizona, let's see what we have available tonight. Our first property up tonight is a 0.22 acre property in Vernon, Arizona. Now, the cool thing about this property is that it's literally 59 feet away. I shouldn't say literally. It's 59 feet away from power. There's a cell phone in the area. Why is this important? It's important because what happens is when you have infrastructure that's close, it's going to mean that land is much more accessible and usable. Now you look at this and it's a 1/4 of an acre basically. And the total price on this thing is $4,200. But if you don't have $4,200, don't worry, because the seller of this property is willing to sell it with owner financing, $200 down, and $88 $88 a month or $72 a month. And it depends on your term, 48 months, 60 months. Now, this is all, you can change this. That's the cool thing about working with these sellers, is that when you're working with the seller directly, you don't have to worry about a bank. You don't have to worry about a mortgage company or anything else. You can sit down with the seller and say, look, here's what I can afford. I know you want 200, but what about 150? Or what would happen if I could put down 300 or $400 today? It's going to change all of the math here. So this particular property is, flexible terms. So definitely something that glad to see. All right, listen, I see in the chat too, I'm definitely needs to land today. However, I maintain sensibility. I want to own land now that I can build my dream home on while I'm dreaming. My hobby is being in nature. That's cool. I'm glad you're here, by the way. Something close to Arizona. Sadly, however, it's too small. Trust me. I think we have something that you might see. So hang on tight for me. Now, I want to also share with you this. When you see on the bottom of the screen here where it says lmoto.ws, our website is landmoto.com, but we have a short code for you. And what that means is if you're interested in this particular property, right here is a short code for you. So you can write down that number on the end. And all of our short codes are going to be lmoto.ws / that short code, that number. So just if you're interested in this property, well, then write it down. Or in the chat below, you can, or in the description below, remember that the title here, and you'll be able to find it as well. So let's keep moving because we have some more stuff to look at. Our next property, you're reading this right. It's $37 a month for 1.16 acres. I almost said 116 acres. That's crazy. But for 1.16 acres in Apache County, $37 a month. Now, here's the thing about Apache County. Apache County is really I like Apache County in Arizona. I personally like Apache County and I like Navajo County. Now, some of you are like, I want Mojave County or I want Maricopa County. That's Phoenix. I get it. I understand. But let's think about this for a minute. The cool thing about Apache County, and also to some extent that Navajo County right next to it, the cool thing about it is that these properties are great for that bucket 3 person, that recreational user. You can go out to this Apache County lot. This thing is literally near the Painted Desert and the Petrified Forest. Go out there, camp out there. The county doesn't have any real rules about camping on your property. Now, that said, you can't go destroy the place. You can't junk it all up because you're going to hear from the county very quickly. But if you're a responsible person, camping's allowed, RV's allowed. So this is a great bucket 3 property. Again, buckets, I mentioned them at the beginning of the show or towards the bottom and into the description, I mentioned them. But bucket 3 property. This is a great property for the long-term land banker, that bucket 4 person. You want to go build a dream home? Look, there's utilities out there, but it's going to be a stretch. You're looking for an off-the-grid property today, a bucket 1. This is a great property for you. And when you go and you look at the pricing, look at the price of this thing. The entire 1 acre is $1,800, $1,875 for 1 whole acre with owner financing available. So again, if this is a property that you think would fit your needs, perfect. There's the short code for you, lmoto.ws / 73458. Now, check out this one. This one is also in Apache County. You're going to see a couple of them here in Apache County. This one is 1.04 acres. I call it an acre. Close enough, right? And look, $1,485 is the purchase price on this. And again, I just talked to you about the whole thing with the county, Apache County. Look at the pricing on this property, though, with owner financing for $100. If you got $100, man, well, you can get your down payment going, and $100 gets your monthly payment as well. So this is less than a car payment, and you can make sure that you're owning America. Bucket 1, off the grid? Yeah. Bucket 2, build your dream home? Not so much. Bucket 3, recreation? Absolutely. 4, the land banker? Yes. Why? Because they don't make land in America anymore. They don't make land at all anymore, unless they make the fake islands in like Dubai or something. All right. Let's keep going. Our next county, We're going over to Mojave County. Now, where's Mojave County? Well, it's on the western side of Arizona, northwestern, below Vegas. I got into trouble last week because I said the city name wrong, but I'm going to say it right tonight. Big city in that area is Kingman. I said it right, Kingman. Dolan Springs is in there. This property is 1 acre in Golden Valley. Check out the headline up there. Power to the lot. We talked about power. The infrastructure, so important. So we get the power in the area, 1 acre, just under $11,000 for this property, $500 down, and $249 a month for 65 months. Check this out. You got a power pole right in front of the property, and if you look at the picture on the right, it's hard for me, I had to glance over, but that picture on the right, what that's showing me is it's showing you that there is power back there as well. So you've got homes in the area. Who is this right for? Okay, bucket one, you're looking for a place to live today, you can start building on this property. You got power to the area, you're good to go. Bucket number 2 is that dream home, future state. You got it. Bucket 3, recreation, you're not gonna camp on this property. Bucket 4, land banker, long-term investor, great property for this because the price of the land is gonna continue to go up. Now, someone was telling me the other day, they were concerned about inflation, and I've done a video on inflation. You can, if you look at the Land Moto channel here, you can see it. Now, the thing about inflation is this: there are people that are concerned about inflation hitting America. We're printing dollars like crazy. If inflation hits, real estate is a hedge against it. You want to take, so is the stock market, by the way, but you want to take some money and invest it in something that will go up during an inflationary time, this is a great property for that. So essentially, when you look at this, this is kind of that bucket 4 person. This is something that you're kind of looking for there. Our next property tonight is also in Mojave. This property is 1.16 acres, and you'll notice it's $6,700 for this property. $199 down, $99 a month, so less than $100 a month. The seller didn't list the term out there, but again, you have the short code if you want to go read the entire description on it. And for any of these properties, use that short code that's down there, that lmoto.ws with the number. Every property has its own code. This property, you'll notice, look at that picture. You have remote land out there. Yes, you have a property that someone's living in across the street from this property. But look, this is a real deal here. So this is a great property. You want to start to build immediately. Bucket 1, check. Bucket 2, check. Camping? No. Bucket 3 is a no. Bucket 4, long-term investor, great property. You can begin to buy this thing for $200 down. Let's keep working. We're going through this. 2.35 acres. And 2.35 acres, and this is in Mojave as well, on the west side of the state. And this property for 2.5 acres, less than $5,000, $199 down, $199 a month. And if you look at this, this is that rural land. So again, there's not power in the area here. So if you want to live there, it's going to be an off the grid type of a situation. You're solar or a generator. The power pools aren't going to be racing in here anytime soon. So if you want to live in this property, this is what you have to pay attention to. Dream home in the future? Well, you got to look at what the infrastructure is going to bring in. Bucket 3, camping, hunting, whatever. Yeah. Bucket 4, long-term investor. You got it. This is one that's going to be there. The thing about these properties, I actually know a guy who would buy these type of properties. I think he liked the 5-acre properties though. He would buy these things and then he would go out there and he'd have a storage container delivered to the property. He'd dig down, put a storage container down in there, build in the reinforcement of it. So you had like almost an underground bunker. You're about an hour and a half outside of Vegas. You got a lot of wealthy people in Vegas. When the pandemic hit, last year, there was countless stories about all of the people that were fleeing the cities, going to their bunkers. Is that something you want to create or something that you want to do? It's a great opportunity. And this would be a great property for that. So if that's something that you want to learn more about this property, there it is. You got the short code on there. Now we're moving on. We're going to go back on the east side of the state. We're going back to Navajo County. Navajo County, 36 and a quarter acres. Now, the unseen hand in the comments. I know you said 40 plus. I got 36 and a quarter here. $29,000, $5,000 down, $499 a month for 60 months. I know Jim is the operator of Lands for You. Very flexible. Look, again, these are what the land sellers are asking for, these terms, $5,000 down. Does that mean you're locked and loaded for $5,000 down? No. Why is that? See, when you're dealing with a bank, the thing about the bank is that they're going to have certain credit requirements. You go buy a house and the bank's going to say to you, okay, sir, you're going to have to put down 20%. Okay, here's the 20%, or we're not going to approve you. The land sellers do not have the same criteria as what your individual or what your banks are going to have. So you'll see that this $5,000 down, it's not 20%. And if you want some flexibility in there, talk to the sellers. They're open, they're nice individual people. They're not big fancy corporations. Talk to Jim if this is a property that you're interested in. Yeah, see, definitely off the grid, but more land. There you go. Okay. All right. So there you go. There's a 35-acre property, 36 and a quarter acre property in Navajo County. And we're going to keep working. We're going to go to 1 1/3 acre, also in Navajo County. We talked about Navajo County. This property is one of those off-the-grid properties, bucket one property, definitely in there. Bucket 2 long-term builder, not likely. Bucket 3 for recreational purposes, absolutely. And bucket 4 long-term investor, yeah. And again, I'll put up the different types of buckets up there so that you can see it in the description. And also, I forgot to mention this, but all of the properties that you're seeing tonight, I've got the links down in the description below, but also all of them are also available using the link that I put up here for you too at landmodo.com/deals. Don't race off over there today. Just remember it'll be on there, and also they're all in the description as well. So let's keep working here. We're going to look at another property in Navajo, Arizona. Navajo, these are off the grid things. They're out there. 2.5 acre property, less than $6,000. Less than $6,000. I was talking to a over the road truck driver the other day, and he was basically telling me that he routinely makes the pass on I-40, and he passes by this area. This is near Holbrook, Arizona. And the thing about Holbrook, Arizona is that, it's kind of a smaller town. But what he told me is, he said, I drive all across America. And I see all this land for sale. And I've always wondered, how is it that you can start to buy this land? Because I drive by and I see the path of growth coming. And he was basically saying, it's so cool to know that, anybody can start to buy land, and with owner financing, it's there. Now, I do have a question here that says, do you know any of the sellers personally? I know a lot of the sellers personally. And I can't guarantee I know all of them, but I do know them because I go to conferences. I've taught them how to do this business as well. So I know many of the land sellers personally. Yeah. And the guy I was just mentioning with that 36-acre property, his name is Jim Lala. I know him personally, met him multiple times. Great guy. Yeah, great guy. All right. So the thing is that a property like this, anybody can buy this property, and it's not a bad property. It's out there. It's remote. Again, if you're looking for something that you want to go recreational camping for, this is it. This is a great property for you. All right, we're going to transition a little bit. We are going to change states. We're going to the state of California. Man, I look at this graphic and all I can think of is maybe I should be calling elections or something. I don't know. I asked the team to put together states, and I got election maps. I guess it looks good. If you like it, give me a thumbs up if you like the election map graphics. We must have got these on sale or something. I don't know. It's crazy. Okay, so here we go. California. I got one property in California tonight, and this is Kern County, California. Now, Kern County is in Southern California. It's near San Bernardino, outside of Los Angeles. 2.69 acres there. Look, it's out there. This is remote land. Okay, it's out there. I get it. It's out there. 2.69 acres, $10,000. The seller didn't list the down payment. They didn't list the monthly payment, but $299 a month. Now, here's the deal about a property like this. This is a great property. Again, it's for the right purpose. If you're looking to go build your dream home today, I'm gonna tell you no, not on this one. This is not a bucket 2 property, which is future state. This is definitely something that you would buy as a land banker to hold on to long term, recreational purposes. But can you imagine for a second? It is possible. We always hear about how expensive it is in California. It is possible to literally buy land in California for $10,000, 2.5 acres and $10,000. It's possible. Now, it's not in San Francisco. It's not in Los Angeles. It's outside of there. But yeah, look at this property. 2.69 acres, less than $10,000. That's incredible. Absolutely incredible. All right, we're changing states again. This time we're going to call Colorado. I don't know. I got to mess with the team. We got to call Colorado tonight. And let's see, Colorado. Look, we're going to have a lot of properties in Colorado. It is one of the largest property or largest states on landmodo.com. Largest states out there for listing the properties, and you're going to see a ton of properties in this particular county, which is Costilla County. Now, why are you going to see so many in Costilla County? Well, simply because Costilla is a very popular county for our type of land investing. That's what it amounts to. And so we're going to see a lot of these things. Most of the properties that you're going to see are 5 acres. Now, not all of them in Costilla are 5 acres, but that's one of the things that Costilla did is they sliced up the county correctly to where you get these minimum 5-acre properties, unless you get up in the mountains or something, but we'll see these tonight. Now, in this particular property here, it says 4.85 acres. It's really 5. It's the way the county sees it. Incredible price, less than $7,000 for 5 acres of land. Notice here, though, is in this picture that you have right here, that picture right there. Notice that this picture really shows a great increase in the elevation. Okay, it's a slow rolling elevation. It rises, the terrain rises there. Notice also that in that picture right there, there's a house there. What does the house mean? Well, the house means that somebody lives next door. When somebody lives next door, what do you have? You got power in the area. They've got infrastructure like water. You can do it as well. So this is a property that you can definitely build on long term. You could do it today, but you're going to have to put in infrastructure. This county is very, very strict about the infrastructure. You're not going to go out there and live off the grid in this county. Costilla County does not permit that. You might get away with it for a very short period of time, but they do not want that type of residency there. They're looking for longer term residency. So here's a property that you have access to. Again, it doesn't list the owner financing, but if you use the shortcut at the bottom of the screen right here, lmodo.ws with that number after it, well, then that will take you right to the description. And again, all the descriptions are in the chats or in the description. All of these links are in the description below. So don't race off. You can come back to it later on. So let's keep working. 5 acres of land, $99 a month. I should say, every time I see one of these, $100 a month, bam, there we go. Let's see, $99 a month, $129 a month, 99 down, $129 a month for 55 months. This property is down in the valley, so I don't know the entire purchase price on this thing, but you could definitely go and check out the link there for more details. There's a question that says, Costilla doesn't give mineral rights. Is that correct? Well, let's talk about mineral rights for a second. The thing about mineral rights is it's on a property by property basis. Now, I do know a land seller who literally just bought a property in this county, Costilla County, and she bought the mineral rights. She has the mineral rights on it. So look, if you are, if that's something that you are interested in, I don't have that property in tonight, but I can connect you with that particular person. And if you do this, if you send, I'm going to put an email address here in the chat. Pardon me for looking down, but I want to give you the email address in the chat here. So look, I just gave you an email address. If you send an email to questions@landmodo.com and provide, well, we're going to get your email address when you do that, but just say mineral rights on there, Costilla mineral rights. I will make sure that you get connected to that particular land seller who I know is getting property. I think it's a 5-acre property in Costilla with mineral rights. So that I can connect the two of you and you can have that conversation. And if you got that, just give me a like on it so I know that you got it, okay? So you got that message. All right. Okay, so 5-acre property. Let's move on to the next one. We're going to deal, I went the wrong screen here. So I got to come back. There we go. Okay, this is another 5-acre property in Costilla, $10,000. So now we're getting up from the valley. We're moving up from the valley into the hills, if you will. $299 down, $179 a month for 60 months. Property that you're looking for, that short code is up there. If this is a property you want to learn more about, definitely check out that one. 5.2 acres. Now we're back in the valley. $6,600. The down payment was missed on this one. We didn't see it when we pulled this information. Doesn't mean that it doesn't mean that it's zero. You got to contact the seller. But the thing is that the seller's giving you very, very flexible terms here. 36 months, 60 months, 72 months. It's wide open. And as I said before, the thing about working with these land sellers is that they're there to help you. They really are. So if something doesn't work for you, just tell them straight up, hey, can we do this? Can I do this? Can I do that? This is what I'm trying to do. And they'll be able to help you, okay? Alan says, Rio Grande ranches have mineral rights included from what I was told. You'd always check with the deed, but the mineral rights would also be on the deed too. Okay, so great questions there, guys. I appreciate you. Appreciate that, and keep them coming. And I see that you just sent the email, so awesome. All right, so once we'll connect you. Okay, so let's go. Costilla County, another 5-acre property, $69.90. $200 down, $159 a month for 60 months. Again, the link is here, and power is across the road. We've talked multiple times tonight about power and the importance of power in the area, because when you have that power in the area, it reduces the startup cost of the land. Because look, you're buying the land, but then there's other services that you need. Yeah, you're going to need to have a survey done, and you're going to need power. Well, some areas are going to charge you per foot to pull that power, and it can get quite expensive. Now, sometimes, like I was working in a county in Florida where the power company, they'll just say, hey, look, we will pull the power. We'll pay half, you pay half, but we'll spread this over the next 10 years, whatever. So they make it more affordable, but you got to work with the power companies out there. So when it's there, it's there. All right. 5.67 acres, treed, and the end of the road. Now, this is the land seller on here. His name is Mark. I know Mark. I know Mark's boss. His name is Jeff. And this is a great property. This is up. You're getting up into the STCR, which is the Cristo Ranches, Santa de Cristo Ranches, and $12,000, $100 down. Break out the 100. You can get this one. $179 a month for 84 months. I like this area. I like the SDCR area. You're up in the mountains. It's a beautiful area. Beautiful area. We're going back in Costilla, back down into the valley. We're going up and down. Good thing we don't have to drive all these. We can just look at them virtually. $6,000, less than $6,000. $129 down, $119 a month for 60 months. You'll see it's near the Rio Grande River. I'm looking at my screen here. It says 1.2 miles from the river. Not a bad little hike in that river. There's a bridge down there that you can cross, go fishing on the bank of the river down there. Great little area. So definitely check that out, and check out these short codes as well. Again, if you're new to this conversation, on the bottom of this screen where it says lmodo.ws, that's a website link. Grab that number on there. It will take you right to this specific property. You don't even have to hunt around for it. Now, this is a different property that we typically have. I don't typically have commercial properties here, but this is, in fact, a commercial property in Pueblo West. Normally, we deal with residential stuff, but this particular land seller's got this commercial property, $25,000, $397 a month. If you're a long-term investor, that bucket 4 person, I'll put the buckets back up there, bucket 4 type of a person, this would be a great property for that. Pueblo West is a growing area of Pueblo County. When I was a kid, and every Saturday they'd have these commercials, they had the cartoons, they had all these commercials where you could send away for free information, send it to P.O. Box, whatever, Pueblo, Colorado. I'm like, man, there's a lot of P.O. boxes in Pueblo, Colorado. But Pueblo West obviously is in Pueblo, Colorado. It is an incredible area of that particular county. Pueblo West is a growing area. Commercial, I don't really know much about commercial, but I can tell you that if you're looking for a long-term investment, that's a growing area, and that's what you would want for a commercial property. So if that's you, check it out. Might be a good match for you. We're going back south to Castilla County. This is a 5-acre property, $8,000 in the valley, down by the river, not too far, $99 a month. Again, you can afford it. If you can afford $100, you got it right here. All right. Moving on to the state of Florida. Who are we going to call Florida for tonight? We're calling it for you. That's who we're calling it for. Now, the thing about Florida is this. We're going to see, hopefully, we're going to see one of my favorite counties here, but this is Citrus County. Now, Citrus County is a very cool county. It is, it's just to the north of Tampa. So it's on the Gulf of Mexico side. That's on the west side of Florida. You got the Gulf of Mexico on the west side, the Atlantic Ocean on the east side. Every week I talk about how my favorite side of Florida is the Gulf of Mexico side. It's where I've lived my entire life, for the most part, lived in the west coast of Florida. Citrus County it's just to the north of here. It's near Ocala, Citrus County is. This particular property is a 1/4 acre. It's really a 1/5 of an acre property, buildable lot. You're going to be able to build your house on there. Notice that there's other houses on there. So bucket one, you're in. Bucket 2, you're in. Bucket 4, you're in. Long-term investor in. Camping? You're not going to camp on this property. No way. They're not going to permit it. But again, if you're looking to move to Florida, I know a lot of our audience is in North New York tonight. You're looking to move out of the state of New York. I know you're looking to move to Florida. Well, here you go. This is a great property for you. This is a popular area. Moving down to Southwest Florida. Again, on the Gulf of Mexico side, Lee County, Florida. That's the Fort Myers area. Lee County, beautiful area. This happens to be, I believe, in an area called Lehigh Acres. It's a 1/4 acre buildable lot. Bucket 1, absolutely. Bucket 2, absolutely. Bucket 3, no way. You're not camping there. Bucket 4, long-term investor. Absolutely. You know why? Lehigh Acres is the #1 fastest growing city in America. True story. #1 fastest growing city in America. These properties that you're looking at, these 1/4 acre properties, back in 2005, these lots were selling for $40,000. Look at the price again. It's not near $40,000. If you're a bucket 4 investor, you're looking for the long term. I can't tell you it's going to get to $40,000. But I can tell you one thing, I've seen the price here go up in the last couple of years. Just 2 years ago, these properties were selling for $6,000. Today, they're selling for $8,000. It's going to continue to grow. So this is a growing area of Florida. Check it out. Check it out. All right. Now we're to my favorite county in Florida. What is it? It's Citrus County, Florida. Oh, this one's sold. It must have just sold right before we went live because it's sold. So I'm not going to talk about it anymore. It's sold. Forget it. Let's keep moving. I think we have another one there. The next one here is also in Citrus County, Florida. It's a 1/4 acre, $8,000. So very similar in pricing to the property we saw in Lehigh Acres. So pricing between Charlotte County and Lehigh Acres, for the most part, is pretty common. There are places where it's not. $200 down, $185 a month for 60 months. So just think about a car payment. You can do this with a car payment. This is less than a car payment. You're owning America. Lake Placid, Florida. Now, where is Lake Placid, Florida? Lake Placid is in Highlands County, Florida. 1/4 acre property, $3,200. That's not a mistake. A 1/4 acre in Florida, $3,200 in Lake Placid. Lake Placid is more inland. So it's still South Florida, Southwest Florida, but it's inland now. So here's the Gulf of Mexico. Like here's Port Charlotte, inland. I should have a map that would show you if that's something you're interested in, but you can Google it too. Lake Placid. Sebring, the 24 hours of Sebring happens in this particular county. And again, a nice buildable lot here. The team has put a graphic there to kind of show you houses in the area. There's a house. I wish I could show through the screen. Like right there is a house. You can see a couple of houses in here. So you get a couple houses in there. Why is that important? Power in the area, infrastructure's in the area. Those things make a difference. $200 down, $1 bill a month. $100 a month for 41 months. Again, if this is a property you're looking for, all right, there is the short code. Go to it, but don't leave now because I got more to look at. So I don't want to lose you yet. All right. Happy trails ahead. 1/4 acre in Lee County. We talked about Lee County, Lehigh Acres, $9,000 down or $9,000. Now the last property we saw in Lee County, well, that was a 1/4 acre and it was $8,000. So now we're getting 1/3 of an acre. See, it says a 1/4 acre, but 0.3 is 1/3 of an acre. We got 1/3 of an acre of land here, $9,000, $399 down, $199 a month for 68 months. Okay, less than a car payment. Again, these are properties that were selling in 2005 for $40,000. These prices are crazy. Someone called my office about 3 months ago, and they were upset because they were ready to sell their land. They were in Lehigh Acres, but they paid $40,000 for their land. I think they paid $39.95 for the land or something, $39,900 for the land, and they wanted to sell it, and they couldn't sell it. They couldn't get their price back out of it because they bought the peak of the market. We all know what happened in 2005 and 2008. It went crazy. But the thing is that now if you think about that in today's dollars and you look at the price of this thing, $9,000, this property's on sale. This property's on sale. So maybe it's one that would help you out. Moving on to New Mexico. I love these graphics. Moving on to New Mexico. Let's call New Mexico tonight. I think we have a couple properties. I think we have 3 in New Mexico tonight. First up is going to be a 10-acre property in Luna County. Again, flexible terms. They don't even list a down payment. That's how flexible they are. $200 a month for 10 acres. $200. I wish I should have 2 of these. $200 a month for 70 months. This is something that you can afford. 10 acres, you can afford this. All right. We're going to 20 acres. 20 acres in San Antonio, New Mexico. And I've never heard of San Antonio, New Mexico. I've heard of a lot of places, but San Antonio, New Mexico is new to me. $15,000. I'm not sure if the owner financing is there or not because they didn't put anything down. So check out that link right there if you're looking for this 20-acre property. Again, here's the thing. Look, they're going to do owner financing. I know them. They'll do owner financing. It may not be in there. Just talk to them. If this is a property that you're looking for, just talk to any of these guys. They're very flexible. They can work some things out for you. They'll help you. They want to help you. 1 acre, Rio Grande Estates in Valencia. Well, this one sold too. Huh. Okay, we got another one that sold. I'm not going to waste any more time on it. We're moving on, moving counties. We're going to the great state of Oregon. No, I don't know if you can say great state. I guess it's a great state. I don't know. All right, let's go take a look at this particular property. This one is in Klamath. I think we only have one of these. 1.53 acres. This county and these properties, they move so fast. Let me tell you why. One, they're affordable. $9,000 for an acre of land in Oregon. Cool. Look at the owner finance on that thing. $399 down, $199 a month for 60 months. But look at the picture because these pictures are representative of all of the properties that you're going to see in Klamath County. What is it? Trees. Everybody loves trees until they want to get rid of them. Everybody loves trees. And you know, the thing about it is that you've got nice, beautiful, tall trees out there. Man, you can build what you want, carve that piece of land to be exactly what you want and make it yours. Moving on to the state of Tennessee. I think we got one property tonight in Tennessee. And let's go see what we have here in Tennessee. We have, update, there we go. This is a more expensive property than what we normally see. This particular property is just under 4 acres. It's $130,000 with $65,000 down and $1,290 a month for 120 months. So let's talk about this property for a minute, because this property is like, whoa. When I saw it, I was like, what? Here's the thing about this particular property. If we go back to the picture, if we bring back up the picture here, when we look at this picture, you'll see that you see the outline. I wish I could go through this thing and point it out to you, but I can't. Here's the thing. On that structure there, it's showing you that you have 400 feet of lakeshore. 400 feet. So oftentimes you'll hear this Tennessee land advertised, an acre or 5 acres for $50,000, $10,000 an acre, but lakefront community. But it's not lakefront. It's not lakeshore. Here you have 400 feet of lakeshore access. On almost a 4-acre property, you can build your own boat slip. As it says in that picture, you can build multiple boat slips. You can build multiple boat houses. And if you look, you got other houses in the area. You got infrastructure in there. Now, and I'm just being honest here. Okay, the thing about this property that I don't like, and that you gotta go into this with open eyes, is it's in a property owners association. So you're going to be in a community. Now, who is this property for? You're looking to build your dream home in the future? Bam, you got it. This is it. Bucket 2. Bring up the buckets again. Oh, they're already up. Bucket 2. Here you go. You're looking for a place that you can start building your dream home today at bucket 1. Boom. Here you go. Recreational? No way. Bucket 3? No way. Bucket 4, that long-term investor. I would say no. And here's why I say no. If you're not going to go start to build on this land pretty soon, and you have to pay the property owner's fees for this, it's going to start costing you money, and you're not going to like it too much. So whenever I'm thinking about a property and I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to use this for my bucket 4 strategy, I'm going to hold this long term, well, then I have to look at the cost of holding the land long term. And a property owner association fee is not going to be in my benefit for a long-term investment unless I'm going to start using the infrastructure. So if I'm going to go build a house, cool. If I'm going to go and do any of this stuff, cool. If I'm just going to put this in my portfolio and just think about it, you don't want to be paying HOA fees there. So, you got to just make sure. This is why I talk about the buckets. That's why I started tonight's session with the buckets 1 through 4 and what they mean, because you want to find the bucket that's going to match what you want. Okay. So there's the deal, the buckets. All right. Moving on to the state of Texas. Texas, only in Texas can you find a pool, that's a pool, by the way, on the top of a building shaped in the state of Texas. I know that there's a pool in Florida that's shaped like the state of Florida, but I don't think it's on the top of a building. So maybe they do. Maybe things are better and bigger in Texas. Let's look at this one. 5 acres of land in Culberson. Get it right, Scott. Culberson, Texas. 100 acres. Now, this is my buddy Tate. Tate's got this property, $5,500. Think about this one for a minute. $5,500 for 5 acres of land. That's $1,100 an acre. I see all the time people say, Scott, where can I buy land for $1,000 an acre? Right here. Culberson, Texas. $1,000 an acre right here. $100 down, $150 down. I'll tell you what, forget it. You tell Tate that Scott said 100 down. He'll make it 100 down. And he's going to make it 100 a month for 48 months. He's not even going to charge you the $50. He's just going to say $100. Scott said $100 down. You do it for $100 down. So there you go. You can get this property for $100 down. Now, let's see. Okay. So you want this property? $100 down? Great. Go get it. Tell Tate you want it. And again, all of the properties that we covered, they all have that short code on there. If you see a property that you like, hit the short code, go to it and check them out. Now, every week I live stream the different properties that we have available on landmodo.com. And the thing about Landmodo is that it is a land listing platform where land sellers bring their properties to you. These are owner finance properties. So every Monday I'm live streaming this. I've been doing this at 7 p.m. Eastern time. Tonight I changed it up to 8:30. I think I like it at 8:30. Do you like it at 8:30? Tell me in the chat if you like it at 8:30. Would you like it at 9 o'clock? And these are all Eastern time. Why? Because I'm in the Eastern time zone, and doesn't the world revolve around the Eastern time zone? Maybe I'm wrong. But here's the thing. Tell me what time you liked this conversation. I will make sure that we're the most flexible for you. I appreciate you joining me tonight. And you know what? If I don't see you before then, I'll see you next Monday. Thanks for joining me tonight. Take care.